Welcome back, Dave. With me, I have Dave Cofell and his lovely wife, Stephanie.
Hello.
Stephanie is probably one of the largest music supporters around.
She's amazing.
Yeah, that's how she met you.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah, she does so much for me. She does all my booking and routing, and I have this thing where we're driving along down, especially in cities, and it's a little more pressure, and then the GPS will tell me to go right. I will instinctively go left.
Uh-huh.
And she tells me, no, the other right. Yeah.
I just tell him to put his fingers up because this is an L and that's left, but he's driving.
And all I see is
There you
loser.
go.
Yeah.
No.
So when you're out on the road, are you with him most of the time then?
All of the time.
All of the time.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a retired comic book artist, so
Really?
yeah. DC, Marvel, Archie Comics, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yes, I knew Stanley. Everyone asks me that.
I've never known anybody that
Oh.
has been in that field. That's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah, she's
How long were you
much
with
more
them?
interesting than I am.
24, 25 years.
Really?
long
Okay. And
time.
so you retired to go on the road with Dave and promote him? And,
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great
Yeah.
life. We love it. So
Good.
get to meet people like you.
And the home
And Randy.
base is
Yes.
Minnesota?
In Minnesota.
Collegeville,
now,
Minnesota.
yes.
All right. And have you been there all your life, Dave?
I have been. Well, I mean, I haven't been there my whole life, but I am fortunate enough now to live in the house that I grew up in, which is kind of neat.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Very cool. And Stephanie, you're from New York, is that right?
New York City originally, yes.
Wow.
I know.
And so what drew you to Minnesota?
That's a long story.
We got time.
A long distance relationship.
Okay.
And
Not
then-
with Dave.
Not with Dave, no,
Okay.
with someone else. And when I arrived in Minnesota, I think it was 3 weeks, maybe 5 weeks after I moved there in 2005, I met Dave. And he was in another relationship at the time. We just became friends immediately after. And they kind of heard the dating story and Ketchup. And yeah, so we're married because of Heinz Ketchup. Just ask
Yep.
them. Yeah, just call
Yeah.
Heinz and ask. Yeah.
They should give you a lifetime subscription to Heinz Ketchup for all the promotion you do for them.
They
Absolutely.
should. We tell the story to everyone.
I know.
Should be one of my sponsors.
I
One
know.
of our sponsors, yeah.
There you go. Well, maybe you need to check that out.
Okay. An endorsement from Heinz Ketchup.
Yeah. So, Dave, tell me, how long have you been writing songs and playing music?
I have been writing poetry since before I started playing music. Growing up, my father was a college professor, and my mother is a botanist. And there are always books of poetry, and I have 6 older siblings. I'm the youngest of the family,
Oh, wow.
and they were always writing stuff too. And so I just sort of started writing poetry almost instinctively. When I was 7, I started playing the baritone ukulele, which is like a 4-string guitar kind of, or a small person. And I took 3 lessons from a nun at a local convent. And after that, I pretty much taught myself with the help, I will say. I mean, people say they teach themselves, but that's usually not the truth. They, take a tip from a friend here and there. My older brother was he's a excellent musician. He can play circles around me, and he taught me a lot, especially on the banjo and stuff. And so when I was old, and probably 2 or 3 years later, I picked up a full-size guitar, and it's just gone on since then.
Wow. So music is in your blood and in your family then, for sure. And the writing part of it and creativity, and that's great. Has your brother ever played with you?
Yeah, we played together in a band a long time ago, but
Okay.
he became a security guard at a casino, and because he needed the health care, because it's so hard to get
okay. Yeah.
health care for people these days, and was back then too, and so he didn't play out as much after that.
Right. Understandable. Yeah. Now, you mentioned that you had a band, you were in a band with your brother, but you currently have a band as well as being a solo artist. Is that correct?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I'm
Okay.
strictly a solo artist at this point.
Okay. I thought you said something about a band earlier. My bad. So how much during the year are you out on the road?
About 10 months out of the year. And it's
Really?
not unusual. I mean, it only happens once in a while, but it's by no means a rare thing for us to put 10,000 miles on our van in a month.
Oh, my.
You know, it
Wow,
happens.
you're true road warriors.
Yeah.
You two.
We've got a Toyota van that's got just on the way here, coming through Oklahoma, it clicked over 400,000 miles.
Wow, you need to let Toyota know about that.
I think we
Another
will.
sponsorship.
Oh, what a feeling.
There you go. Hey, see, I'm getting your sponsors all lined up here in this interview. Aren't you glad you're talking to me?
I sure am.
You also had mentioned that you have a new album coming out next year, but you won't say which year.
Yeah, right. Well, I've got a collection of songs that are like, well, for instance, I haven't recorded Mountain Song. One
You
that
did tonight.
I close with. Yeah, so it's been recorded a few times, and but never a studio recording. And that I sit down. I'd like to sit down with maybe a mandolin player and a banjo player, maybe a fiddler, and really work it out. And
Nice.
so get that onto a
Well,
album.
we are also a full-fledged 100% recording studio here at In the Music Room. So if you feel so inclined, we're more than happy to bring you in and have you record whatever you want to.
Oh, thank you.
You
I
bet.
appreciate that.
You bet. So our is this new album one with all new songs
Yep.
or yeah?
All new songs, and I think it may be the first one. I have 3 previous albums out, and this one may be the first one that I actually have other people's music on too. I've got a couple friends back in
Yeah.
Minnesota who are just excellent songwriters,
I am so glad to hear that.
and I picked out a couple of their songs and may put them on as well, with their
Yeah.
permission, of course.
Right, right. I think that's great. I encourage all songwriters to do each other's stuff because it gets it out there and it gets it heard more. And it's everybody has their own spin on things, but I mean, what a compliment, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And of course, if somebody hears them or hears you and says, "Hey, I have to have this song for this famous recording person," then bonus.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You had mentioned earlier in the evening before this interview that the Billionaire song was very near and dear to your heart, and that obviously it kind of speaks of the frustration of the times today. But you're taking this to the state capitol.
Every state capital I'm going around. So far I've got 15 of them, and we'll hit another one tomorrow.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
So
Arkansas.
explain it to me a little bit. How do you approach them, and where do you play, and who do you play for?
Well, we don't play them in the Capitol. We play them outside
Okay.
on the grounds, and we don't. We kind of do it guerrilla style. We just show up and play, record it, and pack up and go.
Oh, okay. So you do video.
Yep, we video and audio, and when I'm done with the project, I'm going to splice together a little bit from each one into just the whole song. So,
Okay, that's
15, 20 seconds
cool.
of each one.
Remember MTV? They don't really do much of.
Music anymore.
No.
Yeah, remember when they did, though?
I do.
Yeah.
I think I was in college. My first year of college, it was like, ooh, this MTV. It was really cool. I'm dating myself. What can I say? Now, you guys also, a lot of people that have come in here in the music room, and pretty much, Brady said, pretty much everybody on our wall that
wall.
you,
Well, I'd say
know.
about 2/3 for sure.
Two-thirds, yeah.
Just so many amazing people.
Yeah, it's amazing who you
Which-
see on the road and
Yeah.
at these. You do you do any Folk Alliance, Swerfa, Kerrville, any kind of that stuff?
Yep. Oh, yeah, we've been to Kerrville. We drove through
We
a couple
went
days
through
ago.
Kerrville.
You went through.
Yeah, we've never been to the festival, though. Our
Okay.
annual festival,
We
sir.
have to do that.
But yeah, we do Swerfa, and Stephanie is on the board of directors for Farm, which is the Midwest version of Swerfa. And we do the FAI, the main show, too.
International. New Orleans in
which is good.
2020.
Yeah, down in New Orleans this year. And we really enjoy the heck out of Swerfa. There's so many nice people that we meet there. Just
Oh, cool.
it's so, and they're so kind. And there's, I don't know if it's what's in the water down here in Texas, but there's so many just amazing songwriters.
There really is.
Yeah.
There really, really is. There's so much untapped talent around. I mean, this state and or the United States in general. There's so many wonderful writers and singers and musicians, and it's just a crapshoot.
Yeah, but it seems like there's something about the Texas songwriter that they really know how to paint a picture. It's just
That's true.
it's really incredible. It's just a
Yeah.
joy to listen to and try to emulate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Randy's always told people, if you want to learn how to write songs, you need to start coming to the shows here because there is so much talent that sits on this stage, and we're very fortunate that those songwriters that aren't gigging on a night that we're having a show, a house concert, they'll be here. They'll be in the audience. You always have songwriters in our audience, which is great, and we always learn something new from everybody that comes in here. And we're just like one big happy family. There's no animosity. There's no competition. There's, total respect for everybody that
As
comes
it should
in.
be.
And
Oh,
yeah, it reminds me when we go to Swerfa, you can feel that too.
Right.
That people are not, they're not.
They're working with one another instead of against.
Yep.
Right.
You know,
And there's
everyone's
those out
so-
there that have the ego and
Oh, there
everything
always
else,
is,
but
always is.
we don't hang with those people.
Right.
We don't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You're supposed to help one another.
Absolutely. Lift each other up.
Boats, right?
And create together if you can. I
Float
mean, there's
the
been a
rest.
lot of
Right.
musical relationships that have developed, through
Sure.
things like, us in the music room in Swerfa and the Folk Alliance and all that. And it's a great brotherhood. It's a great family to be a part of, I think.
Yeah.
It really is.
Jordy and Terry didn't know each other until they met each other at Swerfa, and now they're traveling together. They're
Jordy
in
Bazan
England and
Terry
yeah,
Klein,
and
yeah.
Terry
Isn't
Klein,
that
yeah.
great?
Yeah.
That's just wonderful.
Houston and Austin, they didn't know one another,
Yeah.
and now it's like brothers from another mother. So
That's awesome.
it's really
Now,
cool.
you both have children from previous relationships,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Are they grown?
Yes,
Okay, so going
All
out on the
girls.
road is not really.
all girls.
Yep. Oh, great.
See, I come from all boys. I'm the only girl in a family
Oh.
of boys, boys, boys. That's why I have 3 female dogs and 3 female goats. I didn't want to be outnumbered anymore.
Okay.
It's a true story. We think the bird's a female because she's kind of bitchy,
No.
but we're not for sure. And obviously, you guys probably don't have pets because you're on the road so much.
We actually do.
We do.
Oh, you do?
We do have
We
a
have
cat.
a cat.
All
named-
right.
His name is Archie.
Archie.
Obvious
Archie.
reasons. Yeah.
How cute. Well,
No
they're
Jughead,
they're
no Betty or
they're a
Veronica,
whole
but-
lot more independent, than a
They are.
dog is for sure.
yeah.
Their dogs are high maintenance.
I understand people who own dogs in Minnesota and have to take them out
Oh,
for walks, and
yeah.
it's like, why would you do that? It's Minnesota. It's 90
much
below zero.
snow and
Yeah, I don't.
yeah,
I wouldn't do that. So
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, dear Archie. My mother looks after him while we're on
Oh,
the
how
road.
nice! So mom's still in the same
Yep.
city.
Same
and-
house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we
And
live-
she
we
just
live
turned
with her.
92 a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
okay.
And
So you guys
she-
watch out for her when you're there.
Yeah,
Yes.
and my siblings are all right in the area too, and they're
Oh,
when we're
good.
not in the area, they're stopping by every day.
Isn't that
and-
great that you can have her at home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my greatest fear, and I know my mother's greatest fear is being stuck in a nursing home. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, she puts us to shame. She goes for
She's
a
on the
walk every day. She's on the
treadmill.
treadmill. And
She's mowing the lawn.
doing crossword puzzles. And,
Yeah.
Wow.
She's scrubbing the kitchen floor. I'm like, what are you doing?
We live next to a bike trail that goes up to the local college, and my mom has a push mower, and she likes to go out there.
She likes it. She
Yeah, I mean,
enjoys
it's a
Dang.
power push mower, but she still likes to get the
Yeah.
walking and going back and forth.
She's
and,
amazing.
Yeah, and sometimes she'll come in the house and we'll still hear the mower going outside. Like, what's going on? And she'll go, oh, one of those do-gooder kids stopped by and is mowing the lawn for me. It's like, doggone it, I wanted the exercise.
Oh, she's so cute. Bring her next time.
Yeah,
She's fantastic.
she's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, wow. It sounds
She didn't
like
put it quite that way, but it's
Yeah. She sounds like a hoot. And
She's
hey,
amazing.
longevity's on your side. That's something to look forward to, isn't it?
Asked how you did at Swerfa or Farm or one of these other conferences.
Uh-huh.
And someone's like, oh, you probably made a splash. And she said, why? Did you fall into the pool? I mean, that's just your mom. And she's like totally deadpan when she says it. I'm like, good one, Mom. So, yeah.
yeah, she puts us to shame.
Oh, that's wonderful, though. And it's wonderful that you have that sense of family and everybody's close together and not living, on opposite ends of the world.
All of your siblings live in Minnesota.
Yep.
All 7.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, only 2 are a couple of hours away from Mom, but
Yeah.
it's amazing.
That's very cool.
It's really great.
So, Stephanie,
Yes.
what do you think of this life?
Of this life,
This musical
I wouldn't share it
journey?
for anything in the world. It's
Yeah.
and people ask me about my life before in comic books and going to San Diego Comic-Con and knowing Stan Lee and working with famous people, and it's a completely different life,
Yeah.
but it's better. And he looks at me like I'm crazy when I say it. This is better than the comic books were. It's a different lifestyle, it's a different way, but it's just the creativity. And I think it's because in comics you're working on comics, they're books, they're art, But in this life, I get to see and hear so many different types of music.
Right,
And
which
meet
is
so many
all
different
art.
musicians, which is also
You're
art.
geared towards
I
that
still
art
have that
stuff.
creative piece,
Yeah.
but just hearing other people, seeing other musicians, seeing what they're doing, hearing that songwriting, where does that come from? It's completely different. And
Yeah.
really, really
I
enjoyable.
hope you journal, because you could write a really cool book one of these days with the experiences that you've had on the road
I've
and
never
with
even thought of
Marvel.
it.
Yeah, you need to do that.
Yeah,
That would be very cool.
it would be cool.
Journal your
I should.
your
I take a lot of pictures.
escapades.
I take a lot of pictures and I post them on Facebook, and people say, "Why do you post so many pictures?" It's like a living diary for us because
you
we're
go.
always on the road. And after 7 to 10 days on the road, we've been on the road for 5 weeks at a time sometimes before you get back home. All the places start to kind of melt together. You forget. It's like, where was that show? Where did we meet that person?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I take a lot of pictures just to remember, where we were and who we
Oh,
met.
that's
and-
good, though.
Yeah.
And you get to bring different parts of the United States to people that may have never been there. I think you just
That's
keep on
my
posting those pictures and
favorite
tell them
part.
to just stop.
That's my favorite part because people say, "Oh, you're from New York. Have you been to all 50 states?" I'm like, "No, there's a few in the deep South I haven't been to, Alabama, Arkansas." And my friends in New York, people I went to elementary school with, say, "Oh, just lie and say you've been there." I'm like, that's
Right.
so rude because if you've never been, you don't know. You've never met people.
Right.
People are people everywhere you go, right? You
Right.
can find more in common with them than not if you'll just talk with people.
Sure.
So it's an interesting thing, and we'll be going to Arkansas tomorrow, which I've never been to. And I'll be in Louisiana in January, which I've never been to, and Mississippi in February, which I've never been to. That leaves one state.
Yep.
I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah, me too.
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Ah, my mother lives in Mississippi.
We'll have to go visit your mother.
Go visit Mom. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, it has been great having both of you here, and I look
Thank
forward
you.
to you coming back and you coming along and hearing you with. I think Randy's already got it all planned in his head when it's going to be and who it's going to be with. So I don't know. We'll just leave it at
That
that.
sounds like fun.
Definitely. It's very cool.
Again, thank you so much. Y'all be safe going back. And everybody out there listening, keep on tuning in. We certainly appreciate it. You are in the music room.